Oh, such a nice way to get the car clean. Beautiful, cheap car wash. But really, if you don't do a burnout at the car wash, did you get your car washed really? Holy owie. So day 2 actually now, starting this video over, which is probably not gonna make a lot of sense to you guys, but it makes sense to the glue holding the top part of my, oh, it's not gonna focus, thankfully, because it's actually really gross. So yesterday, of course, I put the crescent wrench on to the water pump pulley, well, to the nut for the clutch fan, I mean, and as I go to swing my, like, 8-pound sledge, knock the nut loose, I miss and chop my finger basically halfway off. Yeah. Came in the house, bled a little bit, passed out. Decided we'll start this video over today with a different technique. So this is a steering shaft that I had for my 55 pickup, which we'll get a video on probably in the next so often. See that for crap? It's just a round bar that I have screwed 2 sides on. My neighbor's doing all their stuff outside. Is gonna be loud as hell, so let's go knock this water pump pulley off. Little guy should act as a cold chisel. Hit it with the hammer, and hopefully it blasts it loose. So jump on the time lapse, get this pulley off today actually, hopefully, and then start all over. So. Come on, buddy. Focus. Hi. So, I mean, it came off with 1 light tap. I figured I'd show you guys. I stepped up my quality with my tripod for once too, but everything came clean off. I just have to get this all wiggled up and out, but I'm gonna go ahead and glue that back closed, and then jump into another new shroud, and then starting to do the wiring and loom it all up. Show you guys how that works, and then jump into a little bit of tuning with HV tuners to get what I believe is going to be a check engine light for the clutch fan circuit being taken out, and then obviously set the temps for the fans. But let's get some glue on me first. Super glue saves lives, I guess. But we're gonna go ahead and start on the wiring portion. Relays and wiring. Talk about that in a second here. Go ahead and show you guys. Got the actual clutch fan out, and of course the neighbor's still making all the noise, but fan and original shroud are now out. Generic Camaro in, scoot it over so it's centered, and you notice it flops a little bit. So what I'm going to do is make a little piece of metal that just comes over, and then I'll go ahead and reuse the stock bolts, hold that down, get that all back together, get the intake back on, and then actually start laying the wiring down, which we'll get going on wherever the new fancy setup on the GoPro is. So jump in, more fun. I need a belt, my pants are falling down. Random. So we saw in time lapse there, went ahead and roughly strung all this out, and let's see, I just bent it with my fingers, kind of where I wanted everything. So we're gonna go ahead and chop at all of our bends. Try and remember this is fan 2. Oh, that one has a second. Chop these bends, and that's all excess now, which means this can come up. Chop at this bend. It's that one. I'll leave that like that. These are accessory basically for if I ever wanted them to be on switches to manually override the computer, I'm gonna nip the tips, but then I'm just gonna heat shrink them up and tape them into the harness in case for some reason I ever wanted them. I don't think I'll ever do that, but and then I went ahead and busted out the split room, so go ahead and get this all up. But I'm gonna throw the headphones in, more time lapse guys, because my finger is killing me and it's still just bleeding everywhere. So yeah, this video is gonna kind of suck, but just trying to keep everybody updated and keep myself occupied with the 240 so I don't sell it, because I have a bad habit of getting bored with cars and selling them, which so getting this guy routed up here how we want. I'm actually doing this right-handed because let's go ahead and tore it back open. Oh, my knuckle does not look good on the inside. Like the bones moving is something you don't really get used to watching. I'm gonna set the camera back down, time 3, and go glue this back together again. Using the scanner here to monitor temp, and waiting for the fan to kick on. What's nice is I can turn them on manually if I need to, but I'm gonna go ahead and wait. We now have hopefully the speedometer fixed for the 373s, because it had 342s in it before and it does not now. We'll wait and see if this fan kicks on. I set it to 190 and upped it a little bit. Set the other one to 200, so we'll see. What's funny is I'm now realizing that the stock gauge, which is not going to want to focus on, basically stays the same always regardless of the temperature. God, that's so dumb. 192, come on baby. Oh, 196. Fan, come on. Oh, fan's on. That's so cool. Oh dude, I love that. So now let's see, 196, does it drop down? Choppy low idle's fixed. Come on baby. Go down. You can do it.
A few moments later.
I just want to see one number drop. Oh, 194. Yeah, it's going down. Dude, that's so rad. Sweet. Well, let's get going. I swear I gotta figure out the focus settings for this camera and how to keep my finger from falling open, because that just sucks. I actually found my air-to-water intercooler from my 55 in my LS part stash with a couple of my oil pans and stuff, which reminded me, maybe I should air-to-water this guy, which is now back together and idling. So obviously this isn't permanent. Probably hard to hear over how loud this thing is, but ECU goes back down into its little holder. I just have this tested to make sure. They said pin 33 and 42, and my 33 was empty, so I added a pin there off of an old pin I had, but my 42 had a pin in it, so I had to splice it, which has got me a little worried. It's at 187 right now. Everything is good, and I got the idle actually dropped down to about 700, where it idled at 900 before, so I'm pretty stoked on that. Still says I'm at 7% throttle, which we'll figure out. I haven't used HP tuners in a minute, but if you're interested in that, we're going to be going through a bunch of stuff with that soon. Oh wait. Oh, fan just came on. Feedback through my speakers, it's kind of weird. If I turn my stereo off, it feeds like my alternator signal through it. I gotta get that figured out. But dude, I got the fans working. I know this video kind of sucked. It's no biggie here. I need to get a, what are those called, fuse taps? Yeah, I need to get a fuse tap because this wire here is supposed to be switched 12 volts. I just have it stuck on a power spot right now just so I can make sure it works. And then obviously I'll solder these together and make them work. But now we know the PCM controls the fan the way it's supposed to, and I cleared up all of the space for activities. And like I said, activities with that guy mean activities with this guy. God, I mean, I just love how huge that thing is. I can't wait to get that on. So 2 days ago I ordered my snake eater injectors, I got my map sensor, I have all the wiring I'm gonna need, I have V-bands on the way, and it all should be here after the drift event in 2 days. So with that, we know I want to do the Trailblazer SS intake. I have the adapters for the throttle bodies, I have fuel rails, we got the snake eater 1000s on the way. I got the 60mm big boy wastegate and everything. And not like the Fox, or unlike the Fox body, let's try and use some English here. The Fox body was a stock 5.3 in all sorts of manners. Nothing done to it except some Deka 80s and a 78-75. Now, we have the 83-75 with the 110 AR, so that boy should chooch. I still need to get myself a fuel pump and do a fuel pump in this and a fuel pump mod on a relay, but that's all gonna be content coming soon. At some point, that guy, and yeah, I just let the Cummins sit because I don't know what to do to it. I lose motivation and then I sell things, but I don't want to sell that, and I'm trying to keep the 240, so. We know this guy's working. The fan actually works the way it's supposed to, which makes me so happy. So we'll come in here and check the coolant temp on her. Oh, it's down to 183. Oh, I'm stoked on that. So stoked on that, but let's get this down. Like I said, we're gonna end that video out here. It's a little bit of a short one. Obviously, cut my hand and made everything fun. But if you guys like what's going on, like, comment, subscribe, and get ready to make some big steam and some big jam with this guy. I mean, who doesn't like the idea of 1,000 horsepower in your daily driven rig? And putting that DVD player back because that bothers me. But we'll catch you guys in the next one. Average Joe channel. Bye-bye.